All right, I want to welcome everybody to the family tree. Put your hands together, family. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
buddy.
hey,
Yeah, yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah,
hey,
yeah,
hey.
man.
All right.
Hey, hey,
Hopefully
hey.
everybody is doing well and you're getting things in order. You know, the summertime is here now. You know,
Yeah,
starting to
man.
heat up, y'all, because, you know, that humidity, they say it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
The
So we,
humidity.
all right, we're going to get started, Big B. I'm going to bring the tone on down.
All right, man. Oh, man. See
All
that
right,
music?
all
The
right.
music always keeps me cool and calm. See?
Oh yeah, that's cool music. Yes, yes. We just relaxing. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the family tree. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome. We call it the family tree because this is where we get around and talk about holistic health, things that are for the community, things are for your health, altogether for your family. And with that, the ancient laurel customs is that we got around these trees, these big trees called ancient laurel trees. And guess what, Big B? We talked about everything.
Yeah, man.
We talked about networking, we talked about community, we talked about solution problems, but most importantly, we prayed around that tree
I know,
because
man.
that was really your social security.
Security.
Like
Yes,
I
sir.
say, you gotta say it slow. Social
Social security.
security, which is
Yeah, buddy.
your family. That means that your problems and situations may be resolved just around the tree and they're
Huh.
very close to you.
And that's
So
true.
it's your
Yeah, man.
family, that's your tree. So we open up the conversation here on this platform. So if you have a question, concern, anything on your heart and mind you want to share with the family, we say join us in the conversation.
Yes,
Go
sir.
down to the reaction bar down in your menu. You see the heart where it says react, click it, and you can get up in queue. And then when you get up in queue, you can put your hand up like Big B up there, Big B.
Yeah, buddy.
And when he has his hand up there, we'll get to you. If you're someone that says, well, hey, I don't want to get on camera, you know, maybe you just want to have a question, well, you can put yourself down in the chat box and Prophetess, a.k.a. Fingers,
Is in
there
the
she is.
house.
She's
Yeah,
over
buddy.
there. There she is. Yes, she is. Let me see. Let me actually, aka Fingers, she'll get to you. All right. And with that, you may say someone may have, you know, make sure you ask the question. Wait 2 seconds because Providence might already have it in there for you. All right, whatever the question is.
I
But
know that's
also,
right.
but also, if you're someone that's calling by phone and you may have missed the prompt that actually tells you how to actually log in, don't worry. Just let us know that you're calling in, and we'll get to you. All right. So we want to give our host with the most, Big B, Bill 1L Morgan.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm doing well, Dr. P. Ain't got no complaints, man.
Oh man,
You know.
it's a good day in the neighborhood, but I tell
Well,
you,
no doubt.
it's a lot going on in this world right now. You know,
Yeah,
headlines and it's a lot, man. So
yeah, man.
we've been staying up on the rise now of this. Actually, we were following all along the flu, but now all of a
Yeah.
sudden here comes the COVID
He's COVID
again.
again, man.
All of it's coming around a little bit. It's raising its ugly head. So the latest one is called Nimbus, but give us the latest numbers, Big B, or what you have.
Yeah, man. Now, right now, looking at our what they call our early indicators from test for positivity is at 3.0%.
Mm.
Okay, that's a couple weeks ago. Really, they're kind of behind a little bit, Dr. P. But
Hmm.
our emergency department visits, that's at 0.4%. That's on the rise, Dr. P. That's on the rise, buddy. And
Mm.
our hospitalization per 100,000 also on the rise at 0.8%. Listen, family.
Hmm.
And for deaths, guys, here we go again. It's creeping up from 2.9 to now from I'm sorry, 0.2% to 0.3%. So guys,
Yep.
listen, we gotta just look, we gotta stay together on this whole thing.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
think it's going away.
You know, strange things are happening all around. The weather seems to be taking an incredible move of unpredictability. You know, because
Yes, yes, yes.
did you hear about the polls that the wind was so high in Las Vegas knocked down over 50 telephone poles?
Yeah, man.
Did you see that?
Yeah, man. You know how crazy that is?
Crazy. That was crazy. So a lot of these things are happening. It's happening right in front of us. So the weather's in going on. Of course, you got the media. You got fireballs coming through the sky, Big B. Did you see
Man.
that?
Yeah, dude, I saw that.
Yeah. So a lot's going on. So we say keep your mind and your heart in the right place. You know, get closer to God. That's what we say. Get your
Yes,
prayer
sir.
life together. Don't worry about all that's the tell live vision is doing and just stay
Hmm.
focused. All right. So
Hmm.
We're going to get started. And you know, Big B, when we get started, I always talk about testimonies because testimonies go a long way, buddy.
Yes,
And you know,
sir.
when we start off, because somebody may be going in the storm, or coming out of the storm. Anyway, it's a help piece for someone. So, without a doubt, we're going to open up the floor right now. Anyone have a testimony on their heart or mind they want to share with the family? Could be anything. Could be, hey, you know what? I'm feeling better.
That's true.
I didn't have any inflammation in my knees this week. How
Well,
about, my back wasn't hurting?
well,
How about the blood pressure was better?
well,
Diabetes. Hey, my sugar was down.
anything, Dr.
We
P.
say anywhere because
We
we
take it.
meet you
Yes,
along
sir.
the way. So we say crawl, walk, run
Yes, sir.
is the process. So with that, we support you. So at this time, Big B, the floor is officially open. Anybody have a
Queen,
testimony, anything they want to
I
share?
got
yes,
one.
I have a testimony. I'm
Yeah.
Queen's daughter, Lauren,
Hey,
and
Queen's daughter, get over
Queen's
here, Queen. You
daughter.
upside down. Get on now.
oh,
Don't worry about it. We'll
so
take. Okay, go ahead.
I don't have my teeth in, but
That's all right. We
anyway.
won't tell nobody.
Okay. So
Hey, what's up, y'all?
I
going on?
Wait,
weaned
hold up.
myself-
Mhm.
Okay, weaned myself from Suboxone. I was on disability since 2008. They started me on Vicodin, then they put me on Dilaudid. Got sick after 3 days. Told them get me off of this. They put me on Suboxone. Was on that for 10 years. Was up to
Wow.
24 milligrams. The doctor said, "Oh, you should have been weaned down." But the doctor I had for years had retired, so that happened like the day after my mother's birthday party that we had for her.
Mhm.
That I was scheduled to, because I joined a group called B'nai Ephraim. It's a Hebrew Messianic Hebrew group, and I was baptized in a Lutheran church,
Uh-huh.
but I basically wanted to get immersed into the Messianic ancient Hebrew traditions, which
Mhm.
we follow the Sabbath. Da, 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 da.
Mhm.
So that day after my mother's birthday, I was scheduled. I had been fasting because I was scheduled for the immersion at the Gunpowder Park in Maryland. But the water, the quality of water wasn't good, so they canceled it. But I had fasted. But that night I had fallen while we were preparing things, and
Mhm.
the next morning I got up. I could barely walk. My brother has hands like a chiropractor. He massaged me for an hour. I sat on ice for an hour, and I was able to get up and move. Then, the colors were black and gold. I'm a crafter, and I had some gold paint because I couldn't get the right color nail polish. So I put this gold paint on my toenails. But the next day, I did not take my Suboxone, and I did not get sick. Now, if you know anything about opioids and the withdrawals, I've been through a withdrawal that had me in a hospital for a week.
Mhm.
I did not take it, haven't taken it for 30 days, haven't been sick one day.
All
Tell
right.
me, Yah
All
does
right.
not move.
All right now.
Yes,
Tell
let's
me,
give her a
Yah does
hand
not
now.
move.
Yes,
Amen.
absolutely.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
give her a
Not
hand.
one day sick. I didn't know vomit. No. Now I did have the yawning and the tiredness and all that.
Mhm.
But I went and did my research, and had took the right supplements. I amped up on the nerve. All the different supplements that I needed to. The neurotransmitters and the serotonin to get all those things boosted back up again.
Mhm.
Here I is.
Yeah,
Well,
so let's
well.
give her a
After 10
shout.
years.
Everybody
After
come
10
off
years.
mute.
Y'all rules.
Yes,
Amen. Hallelujah.
That's right. All
Amen.
right. All
Hallelujah.
right.
Everybody come off
All right.
mute
All
for.
right. See?
Congratulations.
Come off mute
Thank
See?
for. Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work. That's right.
Yes,
See
he does it. I
every
don't.
way, and remember now, make sure you write down exactly what you did. So in that process, that whatever worked for you, write everything down because that's your flow right there. Get back into that flow. Make sure you write down whatever those herbs and supplements that you were taking because that did do the trick for you. See, sometimes
Oh,
we
I
have to
have a
work
whole
that.
basket by my bed with my
Mm-hmm.
supplements that I take.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
Yeah.
I don't even have to write them down. I just go, because every morning I take my,
Mm-hmm.
that's my
Mm-hmm.
nutrition.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you
Keep
for
the
letting me share.
All
yes,
right.
absolutely. All right.
Okay.
Hey, Dr.
Okay.
Paul, I got one.
Okay,
Yes.
Keith.
Keep going,
What's
Yeah,
up,
Keith.
buddy?
this past weekend, I text you in reference to the constipation that I was having. And I remember you saying greens, greens, greens. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting better, but I'm still on the IBS medicine that they put me on. But I am doing the fruit smoothies in the morning. I'm doing mango, pineapple, berry, yogurt, the green drink, and it's called the gut booster.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in the evening, I'm doing a veggie smoothie, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing broccoli, dandelion, cucumber, celery, carrots,
Mhm.
and I just got the papaya seeds in. So I'm it's getting better. It's getting
Mm-hmm.
better, and my water is right. My water is right. So I'm thankful for that. But my white cells are low. Because
Mm-hmm.
I had kidney issues. So I had COVID before, and
Mm-hmm.
COVID attacks your immune system and different things when you're compromised to a point. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think that's kind of like I got to get my gut right.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
to get my gut right.
Now, first of all, I want to say let's give Keith a hand, y'all.
Yeah,
Everybody come
buddy.
off mute for Keith. Yes, you're doing your thing,
Woo!
man. Continue
All
to do it.
right. All right.
See,
Congratulations.
Thank
see
you.
Keep it up.
yes, every step counts. So every little bit you're learning about yourself. Now, one little tweak I would say for you, Keith.
Mhm.
Remember, even smoothies, even though they're fresh vegetables, they can be all of the, certifications and everything. Number nine, remember, smoothies are still too thick. I would not do thick, sweet smoothies at all. I would go back to green drinks, but nothing thick. So whenever you're adding the ice or anything, or even if you're just doing the veggie smoothies, be careful with the thickness. I would just, until you
Really?
can get a hold of that, just back down. I would just try to do just greens right now. Just green drink. You take your regular juice, put that green drink in there and go with it. I think
So
that will
just
help.
not the fruits like pineapples and berries and the yogurt, no, or
No,
just the green.
I would just say take them as they are. Take the pineapple and the papaya, get
Yeah.
chop it up, put it in a bowl, make sure you keep it, wrapped tight, and then use that every morning like the chunks and take that just as they are, raw, just like that.
But
As a
don't blend it. Don't
Don't
blend it.
blend
I
it. Don't
blend it.
blend it. I wouldn't
Really?
blend it. Yep, I wouldn't blend it. See, what's happening is, you're having, whenever you're getting a gut issue together, still thickness is a problem. So thickness means that the villi, their job is to take the nutrients out of food and bring it into you, but sometimes it's still going to be like a blanket. It can cause problems. So I would just to clear it out, just go directly towards the fruit right now. Fruit and green drinks. That's all I
Mm-hmm.
would do. Water, fruit, and green drinks. Those are the three things I
So,
would stick to.
so
No smoothies.
no broccoli, dandelion.
No.
Just
Not saying that you can't do that. But because of the cross contamination issues that are going on right now, you got two things you got to watch out for. When you blend it and you're making it like a juice, but the pesticides and chemicals are really high right now. You just
Mm-hmm.
can't get past this stuff.
wow.
I would say just to reset yourself, just to reset,
Mhm.
just stick with those three right now. If you do that, you can recover that much faster. Usually the gut
So,
really recovers that much faster.
so mango, pineapples,
Mango,
green drink,
pineapples, papaya, also papaya.
papaya.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Now, also for the vegetable side, cabbage, raw cabbage is good for the
Oh,
gut also. Yep. So sometimes you'll take you can get a raw cabbage juice. Okay, and that actually helps
okay.
with the process too. And it can be green or purple. Okay.
How about like some collard greens?
Collard greens are very good. The only concern is that with collard greens, just watch it because you mentioned kidneys. And whenever you mention
Yeah.
kidneys, the first thing that comes to mind is those oxalates. Remember the oxalates we talk about? See,
Yeah.
spinach, spinach, kale, they have a lot of oxalates. So you got to watch, just be careful. So you're just treading lightly right now until you can get the gut back in order. And then you start to
Okay.
assimilate properly. Doesn't mean forever, but just until you can get a hold of it. Okay. So
So
watch.
raw broccoli, leave it alone.
I would say just no juicing like that. You know, when you're juicing,
Okay.
if it comes in like thick, like if you're juicing, just don't make it where it gets thick. Remember, thick,
Okay.
creamy, things that pour slow. You got to try to watch that. You know, thick,
Okay.
creamy, things that pour slow. What about beans? Beans or nuts? Any beans or nuts?
I'm going to start with the lentil.
The lentils? Okay. Yeah.
Lentils. I'm going to do that. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
lentils.
Yeah,
And
lentils are good.
I can eat lentils.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Find out what works for you. You know, some
Okay,
people.
all right.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Keith. Let's get Keith a hand one more time, y'all.
All right,
Let's
Big
get
Keith. Thanks,
Keith.
man.
All
Appreciate
right.
that, buddy. That's what's up.
Good job, Keith. Good job, buddy.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
How's the
Anybody
weather
else?
down there, Keith? How's the weather, man?
Well, it's 90. It's raining sometime during the day, but it clears up, and you know, but it's a little rainy right now.
And what about the fish down there, man? What other fish do you said you were just having salmon? So
I was
what?
just eating salmon.
Yeah, salmon. So what about other fish? You're down by the Keys, right? Are you by the Keys? Where are you located?
No, I'm down by like Clearwater. You know,
Oh,
I'm down,
Clearwater. Okay.
I'm Tampa.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
got you. I got you.
I've been eating salmon for about a year.
That's when it started every little bit.
All the time. So,
Okay.
you know, I left it alone. I leave the salmon alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. It's just too much strange stuff going on right now.
Like when
Wait till it clears out. Wait till it clears out. You know, that's what I want to wait for.
'Cause
Okay.
I was getting it from a lab.
Keith, you went out. You went out there, Keith.
Hey, Keith, you muted yourself by accident.
Keith, you muted. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I
There
said
you go.
all of the fish that I get, I stick the green tester in there. And if it comes up okay, that means it's all right or not.
Yeah. That's just for nitrites and nitrates. That's what that's for. It's a nitrate tester. Yep.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone
Yeah,
else?
how you doing, Doc?
Who is that? I know who that voice is. Who
It's
is that?
Farouk. What's up, man?
I know.
What's
that.
up,
Hey,
Farouk? How you doing,
I thought
buddy?
that was your voice. How you doing, man?
Good. How y'all doing out here?
All right.
Doing well, man.
What's going on?
Doing wonderful. I'm blessed.
I know.
That's right. That's right. Blessed by the best, right? Mm-hmm.
Never and God will take care of the rest.
No. That's
But,
right.
I'm coming on to actually, give my update now of my health examinations. I feel like I'm ready to come in, but I was trying to, basically tell you that I'm still vegan. I ain't going back.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like smoothies, I was actually want to say that I'm starting to learn that smoothies in general, like if you're using them, you better use them with caution, especially because I don't use like a lot of green. I mean, I use a lot of green stuff, but I eat my food whole. You know what I mean? Because if you break it down, I don't know, like it does something to your to the food. So it's good to drink smoothies, but like you make such of a solution with your green balance that you don't even need to drink a smoothie. You can put it in anything. So I can agree with that. So
Yeah. So you find your
I just wanted
balance.
to commend you because I'm on here to listen to your
You went out there.
You dropped out, Farouk. Okay. Until he pops back in. All right. There we go. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you go. You get it. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I was also listening to your I guess your documentary from like that thing is crazy. I mean, you got a lot of props in the community, man. Like words can't even describe how much you have really invested into this community, man. And there's a lot going on. I kind of want you to speak on the progress of what's going on, because I know you have everything to do with, inventing, I mean, not inventing, but, like all the health examinations and different things that's going on with our government. I'm a little like, what the hell? Like, so.
Yeah, we're in a strange place right now. You know, everyone's right now waiting for Kennedy's assessment and his restructuring right now. Because what's happening is, I don't know if everyone heard, but they're actually going after the Medicare and Medicaid fraud right
Big
now.
time. Yeah, man.
You know, big time. You know, that was announced this week, along with the fact that they're, you know, banning a lot of the things that were really fell on deaf ears when it came to things like dyes. Y'all remember those dyes,
Yes, sir.
titanium, you know, all the emulsifiers, all those things that were banned in other countries is now they're trying to, you know, correct those things, or they're at least being challenged, I'll say. That's probably safer to say. And that's where we are right now. We're kind of waiting for the dust to settle, and whatever they're kicking up right now, you know, this it's really stirring up the pot. And this is the coercions of, you know, the private industry versus government, and how they intertwine and intertwingle between each other. They come in between each other and become a conflict of interest. And that's what's been a long-term problem, because now, you know, one hand, you know, feeds the other hand and vice versa. And now we got issues of getting things passed. There's this thing called GRAS. Write that down. GRAS. GRAS. It's a term that's been used with a lot of these corporations and organizations, which is generally recognized as safe. Got it? That's one thing they've been passing a lot of these, you know, these chemicals and things and the pesticides and things, because if it's generally recognized as safe, then there's no need for testing. It
There you
just
go.
kind of slides under the door, Big B. That's what they've been doing. So if there's anything I would say, Farouk, that's what we're waiting for right now. Just kind of let the dust settle and see what happens. To stay up on this, I would go to the favorite website I send everybody to. That's www.ewg.org. Got it? EWG. That stands for Environmental Working Group. Got it? And that's a site that actually is independently owned, and they do all the testing, but they also stay up on the legislation. So if you want to know the latest and the greatest of what's going on in our food and the fight for your food, that's where you would go. You can also petition to be a representative for your community, and they will supply you with all the talking points and everything that you need so that you be an advocate in your area or whatever you're doing. So it'll give you everything you need. Just go to that website. All right. So that's pretty much where we are, you know.
So
right
EWG?
now. EWG is in go, right.
Okay.
Dot .org. And
.org.
and emphasize that org at the end, because that org means represented by the people, as opposed to private industry. You know, where private industry gets into it. You know, private industry can be corrupted. You know, it can be corrupted, and you know, things happen. Let's just say that. But now, if you're owned by the people own this. So that's what makes this a good thing. All right.
Okay.
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Stay on that venture, brother. All right.
Most definitely, yes.
All right. We're looking for. All right.
Y'all.
Anybody else?
Checking in.
Me, I do. Grand Risings, everyone.
Hey, Nita, how are you?
I guess you can say this is a testimony. I've been out there discipling for you, Dr. Paul.
Oh, appreciate it.
Go ahead.
And every time I see your hair, it looks better than the last time I saw you.
I appreciate that. There is someone on the Zoom tonight. She's new.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to her.
Okay.
You know what? We haven't met face to face. She is my husband's hospice nurse.
Okay.
Her name is Cherie. You'll see her on there, Cherie S. She's Cherie Sanders.
All right,
Cherie.
I've been telling her about her daughter is pushing her into doing, I guess, I don't want to say the right things, but doing something, changing things. And when we met by phone, it wasn't just happensteance. This was God intention. She is on the line.
Okay. And shout outs to Cherie. Is it
Cherie? Cherie, just holler, Cherie.
Yes.
All right.
And you know, and I'm glad, because I've been telling her things, and I also shared I finally found a barber to come to cut my husband. He's the one did my hair. And in talking with him, he said, sure, I'll go out to the facility and cut his hair. And we got to talking while I was sitting in this chair and I was watching what he was drinking as far as water. And of course, I had to comment and I had to send him a list. And I am going to provide him with, because I went and ran off some more of the managing a healthy lifestyle. And I'm going to provide one to Cherie. Cherie, I won't be able to meet with her because Cherie will be Saturday heading out, her and her family, to Kenya.
Well, she's there. Cherie's there sitting in the dark, just chilling. I see you, Cherie. That's all right. I got you.
All right.
Thanks for the invite. I'm enjoying it and learning at the same time.
All right.
That's right. Welcome.
Great
welcome
to have you, Cherie.
Great to have you.
My friend.
Welcome
Thank
through.
You, my friend, for the invite.
All right. Welcome. Yeah, she's in the dark. Guys, you are in the dark.
I just saw her. She's just laying in the cut, just chilling.
She says this work is over. It's time to relax. That's right. I got you, girl.
They call chillaxing. She's just chillaxing, Dr. P.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And let's give Neetha a hand, y'all. Everybody give Neetha a hand over there. Neetha.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Great thing. Yes, that is. Yes.
Thank you, Neetha. You're doing good work.
Continue to be an advocate, Neetha. You're doing a great job. You know, you got to spread the word. If you love your family, you're going to tell them about things. You tell them about the family tree. Tell them about we getting together talking about these things, because that's where it is. If you love your family, you're going to tell them. So we thank you so much for your input. We always love to hear from you. All right. All right. Let's see. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
I got testimony, Dr. Paul. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sister.
Okay, first of all, I got a new notepad and don't have my name up here as somebody else.
Who is that?
Joan Marty.
Joan, what's up, Joan?
Hi.
Joan is wing tech tonight, Dr. P.
Oh, okay. She got a superhero.
That's
name
right.
on there. Oh, okay.
I went to see Dr. Lenny on the 30th, and I go back on the 15th because I had a couple appointments lined up. But he was very thorough, and I'm glad that you turned me on to him as far as him becoming my chiropractor.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, I want to know, how do I put my name on this notepad so I don't have somebody else's name or whatever it says on there? Wintech. I'm not Wintech.
You're not Wintech. Yeah, that's not your name. Okay, so on there, Big B, you want to give her instructions on how to do that change?
There should be like three little dots up in the corner. If you see that, you click on that. That should be able to give you a way to rename yourself.
Where is it? In the corner?
Yeah, three little dots.
Hey, I gotta find him.
I don't think.
And you put it, rename it. Let me see. You know what? Let me change your name. I think I can do it. I can do it for you. What do you want me to put in there for you? Joan? Just Joan?
Just Joan, yeah.
Joan.
Yeah.
Got it.
Your birthday twin.
Twin. That's right. She's my birthday twin.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
There you go, Joan. He got you.
There you go.
See that he's the man with the plan. He got it over there.
And Dr. Paul, I'm trying to get to that second drink of the green. I only can get through one. How do I make that two?
Well, that's a crawl, walk, run. Remember, I would look at it as food. If you look at it as food, and remember, if you need to get through, just add more liquid to it. So if it's more juice or more water, or both, just add more in a larger cup. That helps you get through it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Some people are like the young folks are doing. Know what they're doing? The young folks are taking their good ice. Their good ice, of course, when they make their drink, and they're adding a lemon or a lime to it, and then they're putting it on ice, and then they'll put a straw, and then they're going outside and they're using it as when they work out.
Yep.
That's what a lot of them are doing. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're
All
welcome.
right, good stuff.
Right.
Good stuff. Let's give Joan a hand.
Yes,
Let's give her a hand. Joan.
Especially now we know Joan's not wing tech.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Congrats. Congrats.
And Andrea asked us, Andrea Swift saying, who is your chiropractor? That would be Dr. Lenny. Is Dr. Lenny on?
Yeah, he's in the house. I see him right there. He's sitting out back just chilling too.
Yeah, he chilling. Doc is
chilling with the trees behind him, Doctor.
What's up, Doc?
Always good to see you. Always good to see you.
That's
pleasure to meet you, Joe. And thanks for sending her by, Doc. Appreciate you, bro.
there you go. That's Doc. See him chilling out there, y'all. He probably
he's just chillaxing too.
That's the chillaxing. Yep, chillaxing.
All right. Okay.
All right.
All right. Deke had something he had to say, Doctor.
All right.
Deke, you still there, buddy?
You got it.
Yes. How you doing, Dr. Paul, Brother Bill, Sister Prophetess, and the family tree family? How you doing?
All right.
Yes, I have a testimony on my recent accomplishment, and I'm going to give my recent accomplishment all due to nutrition, the juices, as well as the cold therapy. This recent Sunday, I competed in the Eastern Regional Master Track and Field Championships. I ran the 1500. I got third place in my age group.
All right.
It was a high level track meet. The top runners in the regional, which covers Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York, and I think Connecticut. But anyway, I want to give my my credit of my accomplishment all due to me drinking the beet juice. 2 days before, I was not only drinking watermelon, making watermelon water and drinking that, I was eating watermelon with the seeds, of course, and had this big salad and cabbage soup. But as far as the drinking, this watermelon, eating watermelon, drinking watermelon juice, and drinking the beet juice before my race, in my warm up, and as well all week just taking hot cold showers. So Dr. Lenny, I'm used to the cold showers now. And,
love it.
So Sunday, I don't know if everybody remember how so-called hot it was. I like running the heat, but so it was like maybe 89 and 90 degrees. Other people was kind of like worried about that. That was the last thing in my mind because I knew I was hydrated.
You hydrated. You're good.
I had so much energy. I keep trying to tell people, do you usually see camels fall out? No, because they hydrated. As long as you stay hydrated,
there you go.
You're fine. So I owe my accomplishment due to my discipline to the food. You hear that, family?
Yeah.
Nothing dead.
Yes.
All live.
There you go. Let's get Deke ahead. Everybody come off mute for Deke. Congratulations, my brother.
Big Deke.
Congratulations.
Moving. Well done.
Yes.
That's right, buddy.
Well done, my brother. Well done, my brother.
Congratulations.
Keep up the good work. And then you look like you won. Is that your award you won there? That's around your neck there?
Yes, I actually got 2 medals. One was for the Eastern Regional, another one was for Mid-Atlantic. They kind of combined the
excellent.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get even though I'm showing number 1, I didn't get first place because first place they was giving out prize money for that, so I didn't get that. So.
That's all right.
That's all right. Next time, buddy.
That's next time. That's next time. You say double up next
time,
up, right?
Man. Double up, buddy.
All right, Deke. Congratulations, buddy. Keep up the great work, man. You represent well, and and I'm sure you're blowing their minds when you get out there and start running. They say, "What's that guy taking? What is he doing? Is he on something? He must be on something."
And I always tell them, not bad for a whole plant-based vegan.
Yeah, there you go.
After I tell them we'll take that, we'll rock right on with Deke.
That's right. All right. Good work. Okay. Who else we got? Anyone else before we go to questions? Anything?
I got a praise report over here from Linda. I guess she didn't want to come on. This is a praise report. I completed Dr. Paul's 40-day detox. Way to go, Linda Jacqueline.
Let's ring the bell. Ring the bell, Big B. We need a bell, Big B. We need a bell.
I gotta get one. That's right.
We gotta ring a bell, man. We gotta get a bell.
And notice 0 mucus and 80% less joint pain.
That's right. Awesome. That is awesome. Yes. I always say, remember, it's always back to the science. It's the hydrogen base. Remember, hydrogen is the greatest source of energy in the universe. So if you raise your hydrogen level in a place where we are in deserts, where we are being exposed to
Yeah,
chemicals,
man.
your body's going to have a dynamic experience. And that a dynamic experience means that if you can get through taking 2 to 3 a day, you will change your life. That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing. The other thing I tell folks also, along with taking the green drink, is if you just take 7 days, okay, look at the 7 days of a week. If you can just do 2 days, find me now, 2 days of doing half your body weight in ounces. I know some people say, well, doc, I can't do it. Some days I just can't get my full water in. That's okay. If you can just say, well, one day when I'm going to be home, it's like 1 or 2 days, try to maximize your water. Just that 1 to 2 days. I'm going to tell you, it's going to
Makes a
change
big
your life.
difference.
It's going to change your life. It's almost like a reset for the body. The body's going to reward you by saying thank you. And that water is going to be that important because now you're putting at 8.5. If you're doing crystal guys, that's like 8.5. If you're doing something like a Fiji or Avion or any of the aquapanas or the mountain valleys, all those waters are around the same frequency because that's spring water bottled at the source. So that's what the key is. The key is you got to get that alkalinity up. We're exposed to too much stuff. And, those are the things that you'll find on that environmental working group, that are being sprayed on the food. It's just too much that the body says, I'm at a crisis point. So that's what, do the best you can do, but try to get out 2 days, write that down, 2 days out of a week of seven days and see if you can max your water out. All right.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir,
Good
buddy.
job. Good job. We got some good jobs here. Yes.
Hey, Dr. Eloise. All right, all right.
Hey, Dr.
Any more,
Eloise.
Hey.
I hear
any
her.
more testimonies?
There
Any
she
more
is. There
testimonies?
she is.
There she is.
Doc, that looks like a comfortable chair back there in back of you. Is that your chair back there?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
This is regular. I'm in my office, so
yeah.
realities in my
Yes,
office.
that's right. That's right.
Well, Dr.
All
Clark was
right.
talking about water.
Yes.
And I was very professional yesterday in dealing with this patient who, when I went to do her evaluation and I weighed her, and she got to crying because she says, I only lost a half a pound. And I've been eating turkey and cucumbers and whatever. And I said, well,
Turkey.
what else how much water do you drink a day? I don't drink water because I don't like water. Oh, there's your problem right there.
Ooh, whoa.
So she starts out her day
Mm.
with 2 monster coffees.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
no,
And
no.
during the course of the day, she would drink anywhere from a minimum of 12 20-ounce sodas, 12 to
What?
18. 12 to 18. I said,
Is she
there's
still
your problem.
alive?
I said, there's your problem right there. I said, you got these things called kidneys that require water to filter your body. And I said, if you don't give your kidneys something to do, the kidneys are like, hey, I don't have nothing to do, so I might as well just shut down. I said, so you're looking at going into acute renal failure.
Yes.
And so I said, bottom line is this. There are 3 things you need to do. 1, you need to cut back on the sweet drinks completely. You need to drink more water. You need to start drinking water. And I said, you need to move. To which her grandson, who's like 3 or 4 years old, said, Granny doesn't move. She just sits all day, and that's why her knees hurt.
Oops. From the
mouths
mouth
of
of
babes.
babes. From the mouth of babes.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep. And I told her, I said, you expect to see be at his high school graduation? She said, yeah. I said, well, if you don't start doing what you need to do, you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, you got, you know what, thank you, Dr. Clarinda. I know you were setting us up when you said, when she first started saying.
I was nice.
Yeah.
I didn't have one of my go off, and I didn't need to have one of those moments because her husband was there.
Right.
And he was telling me, he was, like she knows, her daughter was there who just signed, she's getting ready to leave on the 7th to go back overseas. She just signed up for another tour duty in the Army. And so she said, I'm trying to be help my mom, trying to be an accountability partner. I said, you cannot be accountable for somebody who won't take accountability for their own actions.
I know that's right. That's
Wow,
true.
that's so true. That's true.
Simple as that.
You know, it becomes a psychological thing with us all because we never have been taught these things, and therefore we haven't been also challenged with them. So that's why when we hear these things, sometimes you can challenge someone with just a question, a simple question, like she probably never even comprehended the fact that it's the sodas that's causing the problem with her knee.
Oh no, she didn't think it was the sodas because she looks at one, and if she drinks a small one, she said like it's only 120 calories. I said, and the husband said, but did you look at the grams of sugar and add up the amount of drinks that you have during the course of the day? I was like, she got she got the information.
You gonna let her have the rest of it, right?
My.
16 scoops in a can, 12 ounce, 16 scoops of pure white sugar
And
is
she's
in
drinking
a can.
20 ounces. 20 ounce bottles.
That's a lot of sugar, and that's gonna go right to make the body acidic, and the body's gonna go into crisis. Tries to heal. Now it's gonna pull that calcium out of her bone. I usually say when I hear that, I ask people. They say, "Oh, I love my sodas." I say, "Yeah, well, how's your hip?"
Her husband even said, I told her, if I get corrosion on my battery terminals on my truck, I just used to get some Coke and pour it on there.
Okay.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
It also is very good for the highway patrol. I had some highway patrol people, and they were saying that that's what they use to scrape up stuff that's hard to get off of the ground in the highways.
You get an oil stain in your driveway. I told her, I said people use two things, Coke and kitty litter.
Yep.
I said, take a pork chop bone, put it in a jar, pour some Coke in there, and close it up, and see what happens to that bone.
And also, if you want to really understand about meat, if you take a meat, it'd be a pork chop or whatever, and you pour Coke on it, you're gonna see parasites come right to the top.
Out of bed, boy. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, like an army, man.
They're gonna come like an army because they're trying to come to the surface. That's why when they used to put ham, honey on the ham, they would put the clothes on top because they knew that the honey would draw the parasites to the top. So the clothes would actually would kill them. Yep, that was G. Yep. Thank you, Dr. Clorinda. You took us deep again. She deep diving on us. Yes.
Doc, I have a question about the tally.
Oh yeah, you got one. There you go, Keith. You got one, buddy. There you go.
I got a question for you. When I carry mine in the car, I lay it down sometimes. It's leaking.
You got to make sure.
You
got to make sure that top is tight.
Yeah. Make it tight. Because I lay mine like this, Keith, and I get nothing out of it.
You got to make sure. Make sure the tight.
It's real tight.
Okay.
I get no leak out of it at all, man.
Make sure the rubber, and check the rubber on the inside. Make sure the rubber didn't come out or something around there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or if it's sitting sideways.
Yep.
And it might be purple. Can I make a comment?
Yes, Mom.
Sure.
I have a lady at church, just went to Rothman Institute to have a knee replacement. They put the wrong size apparatus in her leg.
Lawsuit.
Oh no.
Lawsuit.
Goodness.
Yep,
Oh, that's terrible.
I said to her, that was like ordering a car part and getting the wrong part for your car.
You got it. That is so right.
She's at the Rothman Institute. She complained about pain, and they told her it was part of the healing process. And she never really seen the doctor afterwards. And I gave her directions in order how to get the Bensalem because she lives here in Delaware.
Wow.
And she'll be up there for 2 weeks.
And in the meantime, have a contact Morgan and Morgan.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Morgan.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. But I'd be surprised if she did. That she don't.
As Fred Sanford said,
put that out there because I just feel as though a lot of these knee operations and all, some of them just money makers.
Listen,
and Viola, Viola, what's really I
salute
remember
now.
I remember you came online. You were telling us that on the radio, right? Didn't you mention that on radio? And I thought that was so exactly what's going on that people don't hear. And the other thing is they're leaving instruments in people.
Yes,
That's the
yes.
other thing. The other thing is that they're leaving objects and things like everything from scalpels, sponges, all kind of
Yes,
things that are
yes.
going on. They estimated. Check out these numbers. They said 300,000 people die every year taking medication they didn't even need.
How about that?
700,000 die of a procedure. That's 1 million people every year. Now, who can get away with that every year other than the medical industry? So that's why you got to stay on top of it, be on top of it. Make sure you get your reports. Make sure if anybody says that you need this, make sure you do the control studies. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Ms. Viola, because we really need to hear those things, because people have to be, you have to have advocates with you, people that are very checking on things. And then when after the procedure's done, there's a time that goes by. There's a time of healing that goes, and if something's not going right, and just make sure you follow up very quickly. Okay, thank you so much for sharing with that. All right, appreciate it. All right, let's see.
Okay, anybody else have a testimony, a question? If not, Dr. Paul, I've got a comment about Rachel on the right here before I go up to Ruth up in the corner. Dr. Paul, help me understand. How
Stephanie,
is it that?
Wait a minute, Stephanie, did you have something you wanted to share?
I do.
I'm sorry, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. I have a question.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is black tea?
I can't hear you. Say that again.
What exactly is black tea? And I don't know what's happening.
Black tea?
What is black tea, Dr. Paul?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, black tea is black tea. That's it. It's a very dense tea. It is mostly when black teas are high in oxalates, so you got to be careful with that, especially if you have things like kidney issues. Remember, this very dense. With black teas, you'll find a lot of these, of course, coming from Asia. Some black teas are banned in the U.S., though. Some cannot come here because they're too dense. But black teas are very much recognized. Now, there's also white tea. Got it? You ever had white tea? Anybody ever had white tea?
No.
Yes.
No.
They actually are how white tea is like an immature. It's not a fully mature tea, while black tea is fully mature.
Yeah, it is a different species. Now, remember, white tea was actually it was actually traded for gold one time. I don't know if y'all knew that, because it has a very unique characteristic of only being harvested 3 days out of a year. That's some serious tea, right? So if you came on the 4th day, it was gone. Now, there's only one place on the planet that they actually harvested more than 1 day or 3 days, and that's Kenya. So Kenya actually is used, and it's interesting because the Chinese actually have set up shop in Kenya, and those are picking the white tea because the fact that it harvests twice a year. Now, can anybody tell me why would it harvest 2 times in Africa, in Kenya specifically? Anybody got an idea why?
What does it have to do with the weather?
The sun,
the weather.
Has everything to do with the sun. That is correct. The sun. It's on the equator. It's right on the equator. That's right. So there's 2 harvests happen in only one place, and that's Kenya. Now, they tried to do, this is what they tried to do. They tried to take the soil from Kenya and take it back to China to see if it would work. They said, well, maybe we could just take the soil and go back and try to they tried to see if it would grow, and it wouldn't grow. So that means it was what? It was the sun.
Sun, yes.
Got it?
Yes.
But white tea has higher polyphenols than most teas. And like I said, it's very good for wrinkles. You'll see white teas in cold creams, and some of the most expensive cold creams that are in Hollywood. So keep that in mind. But black tea is also good, but it does have a lot of oxalates. So be careful. So you got green tea, black tea, oolong, rooibos. Those are kind of very dense. So be careful. Okay.
The reason why is I have a testimony from Kwaku.
Mm-hmm.
Actually use eucalyptus boners soap, the liquid soap.
Mm-hmm.
I always use that. But I always noticed and showed him how he has a lot of dandruff in his hair, in his scalp. So one day he decided to try add black tea to the liquid Dr. Bonner's eucalyptus soap. And when he did, presto, no more dandruff.
Mm-hmm. You said dandruff?
Yeah, dandruff. Dandruff in his hair. Dandruff
Okay.
in his scalp.
Like a lot of flaking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a yeast issue. So you got to watch the yeast. See, whenever there's areas of dandruff that's going on and flaking, that has a lot to do with yeast buildup. So that's a gut thing. But also watch the sugar. Just watch sugar. If you cut back on sugar, you can know that actually will dissipate also. But definitely, I can understand why the black tea would have worked there. Absolutely. Yeah.
And something happened. I haven't done this show about the show in a couple years, maybe a decade. That I actually sit down and just did something that I love. I knew God gave me since a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at the Clark Center Sisters concert on Saturday, and I said, you know what? I want to slow myself down. I am a multidisciplinary artist. So I sat down and I just started drawing.
Okay.
Drawing, people kept admiring and from there I said, wow, and I was just actually in my therapy. That was therapy for me. And a number of people, I have more orders than I could even finish there where I was.
Okay.
But, this is, I don't know if you can see, I can't see where I am.
Yeah, show some of your pictures there. So the family can see it. Can you hold it up? We can't. We're fading out a little bit.
A little closer.
If she gets rid of her background, we'll be able to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you remove, can you remove your background?
Can you take your background off?
Let's see. Oh, that's right. I had the flower stuff.
Mm-hmm. If you can remove that, we can see it.
Can't see
we
it.
can see some of it. It kind of goes in and out. Yeah, there. Almost.
Right there.
Oh, well, it's not the whole thing.
Yeah, all right.
We see some floating faces there. Yeah.
You're a phenomenal artist.
Yes.
That's
and
beautiful.
you drew those faces? Oh.
The one company came over and he said, "Can you do my whole staff?"
The name.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Awesome. We can see one. I can see one face down there. Looks like a guy.
Yeah, the guy. The two ladies underneath the
excellent
heart
work. Everybody give Stephanie a hand. Let's give Stephanie a hand. Congratulations, Stephanie.
Great.
There
you go.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh, yeah. Terrence will take you before kings. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's right, Queen.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Appreciate you.
All right, Stephanie.
Therapy for me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Stephanie, this is Cheryl. I'm so proud of you. We used to work together, and I remember all your paintings. I am so glad you're getting back into it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
See. That's why you come to the family tree, because everybody's here. Y'all.
Yes. Awesome. See, she painting and she dancing. How about that? Painting and dancing. Now, can you paint and dance at the same time?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, that's right.
All
right, thank you, Stephanie.
All right,
tell Kwaku I said hello. Okay, send him my regards. Okay.
I sure will.
Okay.
All right. Dr. Paul, Rachel will know.
I have a testimony.
Okay, Nzinga. Sorry
Nzinga?
about that.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Nzinga, how are you?
Oh, well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So it's actually a testimony for my father. He not that he asked me to do this, but he's not on the Zoom yet. But he gave me a understanding that he came to see Dr. Paul the other day, and he enjoyed his whole visit from the beginning to the end.
All right.
And,
Yes,
he said
yes.
that he enjoyed the information. He said he's going to follow everything that you told him to do.
Mhm.
And I started him off with giving him one of my green drinks because I ordered them three in the pack. So I had gave him one, so I have to get ready to order some more. But he said, yeah, he's going to get some more green drinks. So basically, he's saying thank you.
Okay.
But my next step is to get him on the Zoom. I got to fix it up for him.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
All right.
yes.
Well, glad to have
and
him, Nzinga.
Zinga, I want to say let's give you a hand because you brought him through. He told me all about his the challenges he's trying getting into health and all the things, but he said you are an instrumental part of that. So I want to give you a shout out.
Amen.
And we had
Amen.
a great conversation. I think it takes and the one thing that we came out of the conversation is that iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
That means
yes,
that
yes.
sometimes you just need to take your ideas and sharpen them against somebody, because sometimes you need to work out your thoughts. And that's what it seemed like we had. We had a great conversation. It went a long time. I said, you're going to have to get out of here because I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
We talk too much. Yes, he's an incredibly gifted and very knowledgeable man, and definitely, my prayers are with you both, and continue to keep each other in check. And, and he was a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Cool beans. You're welcome, and thank you.
You got it.
All right.
All right. All right, then. We'll get back to Rachel's questions. How is it that, help me understand how it is when you tell the truth in love to people that our bodies were made perfect without the use of foreign substances like vaccines and medicine. People quick to call you delusional because they claim they are college educated and have all the knowledge, thinking their way is right.
Yeah, well, that's each his own. It's all based on their information and their exposure to truth. And what's also the truth that is in some people and not in others.
Yes.
So don't waste your time. Don't try to convince someone that does not believe as you believe or you see, because not everything is in them. It's interesting. It was, even if you go back to the Bible, it said, they said, Jesus, why come you talk to us in parables? You talk to us straight, but you talk to everybody else in parables. He said, because he that have an ear, let him hear.
Yeah, there you go.
Speak
there you go
it.
now.
It's already going to be in them. It's already going to be in them. But we don't get into it, because number one, it's not our job. It's not our job to do all that convincing. We have to just basically spread the good information, throw the seeds and keep it moving.
Back up 10 yards and punt. Keep on rocking.
That's right. That's right. They may it fall on fertile soil. That's the only thing that you can pray for. So keep that in mind. Yep.
Dr. Paul, my brother's statement usually sometimes. You can't save them all. Some people going to heaven, some people going to hell.
Well, yeah. so very true. That's
I used to, Neetha. I used to have a cousin that used to say that all the time. He says, he said there's a lot of people going to hell. It's a 1,000,000-lane highway, and it's jam packed.
That's so very true. That's so very true.
See that? I was like, man, you crazy. Yep. So you gotta just now, do what you can to inspire where you can.
That's all you can. That's all you can.
That's all you can do. Yep.
All right, Ruth Presley. Come on, Ruth. You've been patient, brother. We bless your heart. We appreciate it.
And then Big B also after Ruth, you go on Facebook to see who's on Facebook. Maybe you or Prophetess can find it. Hey, Ruth.
On Facebook.
Okay. What's up, Ruth? What's going on?
How y'all doing? I am so excited. I have to share like 5 things really quick. But I went to see Dr. oh my gosh, the dentist, Dr. Ariani.
Okay, yeah, right.
If you guys haven't seen Dr. Ariani, please go see her.
Yes, yes.
I got the last metal filling out of my mouth today.
Yay!
Yes, all right. Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah.
come off first.
That's what's up. Yes,
Everybody
yes,
come
yes.
off mute just for
Yes,
that
yes,
right
yes.
there.
That's what's up.
Just for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, get that.
Congratulations. Get rid
Yes,
of
yes,
that
yes.
metal.
Thank you, thank you.
That metal out of there. That's right.
Congratulations, sister.
Thank you, sister. You heard what Dr. Paul about saying, just stop talking to him, Nancy. Stop talking to him.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you keep trying to tell them, they don't want to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Want to know.
Yeah.
The other thing was I was scrubbing down my steps and my back went out. I sat on the floor and I call them windshield wipers, where you take your knees and you just wipe side to side. I did a couple of squats. Presto, the pain was
Went away. How about that?
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
With no medication, no ice, I just did some windshield wipers and a couple of stretches, and it was gone.
Yes.
I was amazed at God.
Yes.
And we are so fearfully and wonderfully made people.
Yes, I know that's right.
Yes,
Go
yes.
ahead,
Let's
Rue.
give Ruth a hand,
you
y'all.
can
Let's
shout
give
and run
a
around the
hand.
room. You can shout and run around the room.
Good job.
We don't
Run around
mind.
the room.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Great grandmom in the house. Great
That's
grandmom in
right.
the house. Hey.
Windshield wiper.
You know,
That's a genius.
that's right. Cheers to the windshield wipers.
I don't know what else to call them things. I don't know what you call them.
That's right. But that's what you got to do. You got to move it. A lot of mobility issues can be resolved by just actively just moving. The body's, it does mean amazing things to reset itself. So you have to just get those muscles moving. Make sure your water's right because the muscles are pulling. So keep that in. Tendons. Did y'all hear how? And Dr. Lenny, is Dr. Lenny still on? Is Dr. Lenny on still?
He was.
He was. He might be off now. But anyway, have y'all?
He's still there.
Hey
He's still
Doc. Hey Doc. You know what I wanted to talk to you about? I didn't mention it when I was at the office, but they were doing a research study on why so many of the players are having Achilles issues. The Achilles, because you got all of the basketball players that are having, the Achilles problems, and it's a big issue, right, Keith? You've heard all the Achilles issues.
Yes, sir.
I truly believe that is strictly going to dehydration, and also the lack of phosphorus that's actually in the soil, which now gives the ability for the body to balance out the tendons and the ligaments and the connective tissue and all of this. It's really this bioengineering, man. I believe it's really messing people up. But it's interesting when we have things like Ruth was saying, when she just started to now get that loose again, keep your water up, keep those things. You might want to add a little phosphorus to your diet. Got it? Phosphorus. See, that's the balancer of the vitamin D and the calcium. Phosphorus kind of goes in there and sort of balances out things. When you're saying you're low in vitamin D or low in calcium, you got that phosphorus out there that helps with those knees. So if you got knee problems, knee inflammation, hip issues, don't forget the phosphorus. Okay, keep that in mind. All right. All right. Thank you, Ruth. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Ruth.
All right.
All right, Neither then Carol G.
I got one more thing.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Eat like a cow.
Eat like a cow, people.
Eat like a cow. That's Ruth.
And the tower gardens. You want to grow your fruits and vegetables in the house?
I love that. I love that website. I love that. Eat like a cow. That's right. Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Neither and then Carol G.
Yeah, I just want to bring up, like I said, I always want to bring something, but dealing with Medicare and Medicare fraud, just watch out for phone calls and maybe coming through the mail. It's a fraud thing going on. They're saying that the CMS are performing audits, so they calling you and because they need to review records, and so they're asking you for information. Just remember, CMS, Medicare will never call you.
Yeah.
Don't give out, and they will not ask you for any information. They have all that information, so why do they need to ask it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so just watch out for this fraudulent stuff that's coming through. You know,
Yeah.
don't give out any information over the phone to anyone.
Yeah.
Because
Did you?
I'm sorry.
Did anyone see the Medicare Medicaid on C-SPAN this week? It was on C-SPAN. They talked about they had these big meetings, how they were actually going out at them, and some of the cases were just egregious. I mean, they were really ridiculous. I mean, getting claims. There was one that they were getting skin grafts from those that were terminally ill and billing them. It was crazy, and they were unnecessary. Number one, because they were terminal, but they were giving out. So Dr. Oz is in charge of that thing. Did y'all hear about that? Anybody hear about that? Or yeah, yeah. Dr. Oz. If you want to find out more information, check out Dr. Oz. It's sort of like I guess Big B is like a hit squad.
Yeah,
He's
man.
got like a team that's going after a lot of fraud that's in Medicare and Medicaid, where
so easy to commit.
and Nathan, you were talking about this last week. You remember we were talking about checking your
checking
bill,
your
checking your
Medicare
bill.
summary. Yep.
We were just talking about that last week. Yep, and I thought about that.
Neither EOB.
Yes, but see, there are certain insurances you will get an EOB. That's the explanation of benefits.
Right.
And then with the Medicare, you will get a MSN, a Medicare summary notice. But check them both. You gotta check.
Yeah.
It's so easy to, and especially if you happen to go to the ER. I remember several years ago, I was living in Philadelphia. I went to because I had vertigo, and I went to the ER, and I just happened to look at my statement. And they had drugs in there that they said they gave me. I said, no, you didn't. So you have to question those things.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Yep,
and the
absolutely.
other thing I wanted to, a couple of weeks ago on the Zoom, because I usually look in the chat and see what questions are there. Someone, and we never did get to it, but a young lady had mentioned, she was talking about, I don't know if anyone saw this, talking about fluoride. And I forgot how she had it worded, but she was saying they're telling you to stop fluoride. Well, what do you do when you need it? And I said, you don't need fluoride.
Yeah, you don't need
So
fluoride.
you would just mention on that for people who still think, okay, they're using toothpaste and fluoride and you don't need fluoride.
Yeah. It's always been it's a byproduct of aluminum.
Yes.
It's always been a poison. It's always been notified on the toothpaste that it's a poison. That's where it actually says warning. That should have been your first sign right there when it said warning. It says warning. If you swallow more than the toothpaste size of this toothpaste, call the Poison Control Board. You've been poisoned. That's why they don't put fluoride in children's toothpaste. But they will give children fluoride treatments. So no fluoride treatments. And remember what fluoride does. It goes back to nuclear waste. It goes back into a whole lot of stuff. It's the number one find in mining. So literally when they're getting rid of the dirt to get to the diamond, the gold, the precious stones, the stem, minerals and things, they got to get this dirt out the way. So they was like, well, if we get this dirt out of the way, it would be cheaper if we could get somebody to take this off our hands. So they convinced the medical farm, in this case, the dental organization, that it was a health product. That's where it came from. So a lot of this stuff is not good for your teeth. And they even said in there, they said those that brush with fluoride, remember, it said have fewer cavities. Everybody heard that, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at the study actually says we gave the patient fluoride and all their teeth fell out.
Dr. Paul.
So the only rean you got fewer cavities because you don't have no teeth.
You ain't got no teeth. You ain't got cavities if you ain't got teeth.
Dr. Paul.
But they don't count. They don't count.
Wow.
But this is on, if you go to YouTube and punch in fluoride study, okay? I'm gonna let you look for it yourself. It's right on YouTube. It's about 2 hour long movie, and it's gonna make you mad when you see it. You're gonna be like, man, they putting this in all our water. Now you have Florida pulling back on this. I don't know if y'all know about this, but Florida and a couple of other states are now starting to pull it back because they're finding that it's causing issues. They're finding discrepancies, especially with the children. It's always the children before they start saying, "Oh, we got a problem. We got a problem."
Yep.
And the last month, about last month or two, you got headlines talking about they're pulling it out of the water now. So just keep that in mind. It's a lot of stuff. Just do your own research, family. Do your own research, okay?
Dr. Paul.
Yep.
Yeah, Marche.
They do put fluoride in the kids' toothpaste and a mouthwash.
Well, remember, not the baby's one, not the baby one. The baby ones are clear. It's the ones that after they get past there, you're going to see it in the other ones. They'll put it. They'll give them fluoride treatment, not the real small ones, like when the little ones where you got to take your finger and use that to help them clean it with.
Right.
But the other ones, when they get past a certain age, they're going to have it in there. But it's after a certain age. Yeah.
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 But always inspect that. Everybody
Yeah, I
always
use the all
inspect that.
natural with all three of my kids.
Yeah, there you go. All right, good stuff. Good
All right,
stuff.
all
Good
right,
stuff.
Marcy. All right, Carol G, it's on you.
Hey, family, prophetess.
What's up, Carol G? What's
Dr.
happening?
Dr. Paul, I had a question. A friend of mine had a sinus infection in November, and they lost their taste. Then they came back, and now they lost their sense of smell.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any suggestions, like what could clear up a sinus infection that bad?
Sure. Well, there's actually that's a double question. First,
Okay.
with infections, you're going to need to definitely, we say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. You want to get any of the antibiotics. The natural antibiotics would be like oregano, Oregon grape, buchu, also horsetail, or a golden seal root. Also, oregano is good and effective also. Now, when it comes to after infections, because you got to wean that infection out of the system, make sure they're not drinking any milk, because milk is going to separate, that can cause it and make it worse. So they got to get them on all dairy, definitely. All dairy. No dairy at all. If it's need to reset the sensitivity with smell, if you're somebody that still is facing issues after COVID, a lot of people have lost their taste of, the ability to taste or smell or both. We reset that with what's called the olfactory nerve. Olfactory. The olfactory nerve it's actually, you ever had some horseradish? Y'all ever had some horseradish?
Mm-hmm.
And then it hit you, and you didn't realize it was horseradish, but it soon let you know it was horseradish.
Bring you to your knees.
Well, that was your olfactory nerve. That's the one. It goes straight to the head, almost like right between here, right through the sinuses, right to the head. So we reset that with the certain essential oils will reset that. Now, there is an olfactory reset kit that you can buy right on Amazon. You spell it Olfactory. It's a nerve. So that olfactory nerve has to be reset. And if you take they're actually nasal. They have them already in there. I thought I did give this out one time. Didn't I give this out one time?
You did.
No, I didn't get that.
A long time ago.
Olfactory nerve.
Yep, olfactory. O-L-F-A. Yeah, Olfactory. Now, that's actually, like I said, that's the one that rides up, and it helps you to regain your smell, sense of taste, all those things. So if you're experiencing still that food, I can't tell food anymore, or I can't taste it, or I don't have a sense of smell, that's what you reset it. So what you do, you take these scented smelling, and then in small, like the tubes that you use for nasal tubes, they have different ones in there. And let me see if I can get a kit real quick. I could show you real quick. Kits. Yeah, here's one right here. I can show you They come in a lot of different ones. Here's the one that I recommend right here. Yeah, this is the one that I do because it has the Big B. Let me know if we can see it. Okay.
Okay, you got it, buddy.
All right. Can you see that?
Yep, that's it. I'm looking at the same one.
Yep, there you go. This is the one I recommend. It's a smell therapy kit guide. And it has the essential oils for the olfactory regeneration, helps to restore a sense of smell, natural smells, but it also, they're not, really emphasizing that it does help with taste also. So when you set that, it's smell and taste, you'll start to get that back. But you can see what they have. It's got the robe.
The name of it,
Moxie.
Moxie, right. Moxie. That's just one of many. There's a lot of them out there. So each one will give you a process where basically you would just inhale maybe about 3 seconds, 2 to 3 times a day. And that's the eucalyptus, the lemon, the cloves. There's other kits that have other ones that are in there, but those are the ones I think if you just start with something like this can tremendously help the ability for you to get that sense back. Okay, so that's one thing that really helps, and it does help with taste buds also. All right.
But first, Dr. Paul, you need to get rid of the infection, right?
Yep, you got to get rid of the infection. But you know what? Here's the good thing. Some of these are antibacterial and antiviral and antifungal. So that's what makes these it's a double fix for you. So while you're taking those herbs that I recommended, those, of course, check to get, assessment first. These specific ones, rose, eucalyptus, lemon, cloves. Everybody know about them cloves. I've been talking about them cloves for about a whole year now.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And notice that these are also, 3 of these are from the Thieves oil.
Yes,
How about
sir.
that? You got that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
Thieves oil is
Clove,
also
lemon.
something
Yes,
that Thieves oil can reset also. So keeping those things in mind, that's what I would say, Keith. Okay.
One question: how about cough, lingering cough that just doesn't go away?
Yeah, well, I would say definitely it goes back to food choices. I would definitely make sure no dairy, no dairy, no dairy, no dairy. Watch your food choices. That's all I can say, because in most cases where that lingering cough is sort of like staying around, maybe like you mean like the tickle in the throat? Is it kind of like tickle in the throat?
Yeah, that make you cough. Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually whenever you get that little tickle back there. That's they used to call that the death rattle.
Yeah, man.
Remember that?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
It makes you cough.
Yeah, that's a old one right there, man. Like I told you, I grew up with my grandparents, so I got a lot of generations of old folks and old sayings. And I remember they used to always use that as a way of determining if somebody was sick or if they was all right. They was like, sister so and so went to the hospital today. What? Yeah, I went to visit her. Said, well, did you hear it? they were talking about the rattle. They said, did you hear it?
They said, what?
They said, what do you mean you hear it? Did you hear the rattle? Because they said, yeah, I heard it. Well, she ain't got much longer now. But all that was happening, they didn't understand. They didn't really understand what was going on. It's just that mucus is rising. That's all. It's just mucus. So you want to make sure you get a good antiparasitic also. Bacteria, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antiseptic, all those all together. You can't beat things like golden seal root, the oregano oil, the mullein, the nettle, all of those are in that category. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Yeah. Did you hear it, Big B?
I did.
Pleurisy, Dr. Paul.
Go ahead, baby.
Pleurisy also.
What was that?
Pleurisy.
Yeah, pleurisy. Pleurisy is good. Mullein is good. There's a lot of them. Horehound is good. Yeah, you got a lot. Prophetess, you got the list over there for the lungs. anything on the
I'm
lungs.
looking for it
Yep.
now.
Yep. We got all that list. So keep those in your rotation. Don't try to do all of them. Just do one and stick with the one, right? Stick
Yes,
with
yes, yes.
one. Work with the one. Mm-hmm.
Dr.
And
Moore,
Go ahead, Amy.
Prophetess puts in the list all the time.
that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. That's
She
right.
she also has in there, which I've been routinely taking it ever since COVID. I just do the maintenance, and I don't get respiratory colds. If I get a virus, it's usually I've eaten something, or there's something going on with my gut, and I just have to I
Yep.
release it. But as far as several people, summer colds, you were mentioning that, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
boy, I don't get colds, but I take garlic and vitamin A every Wednesday.
Yes. 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 Matter
Because
of
that
fact,
kills viruses.
yeah, give out Dr. because that's Dr. Burton's formulas. Remember,
Yeah,
he gives that formula. Mm-hmm.
his formula is the garlic capsules,
Mm-hmm.
500 milligram capsules. The first sign of cold or flu, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to take 12 of the garlic, 500 milligram, 12 of them, and the vitamin A or beta carotene.
Mm-hmm.
25,000 IUs, you take 16 all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But when COVID came out, because I continued to work all through and I never got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But I mentioned it to him. I called him. I said, it's a virus. I said, how about if we just do a maintenance dose? He said,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good idea. So I started every Wednesday. I just chose Wednesday. And I've been doing it ever since COVID. I
That's
take
right.
half the dose.
That's right. Yep. And then you just take if you get in, like I say, if you get a dedicated day, just like with the water, get really dedicated with 1 or 2 days out of the 7 days, getting your water together, getting your, like Neetha's saying, these antibiotics, the antiviral, the antifungal, the antiparasitic. If you do this at least once a week, you're going to see an incredible change, just by doing that. So, yep. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Dr. Paul, I did want to tell you that also in terms of any kind of allergies or sinus infections or problems, certain points that I actually do on the nose. One is called Betong, and I actually insert the needles here and here where the sinuses are. Clears it up amazingly.
All right.
For allergies all the time.
Now, is that also the pressure points also where you actually
it's the
hear?
same thing. I just put needles in there.
I've seen some guys that were doing this right here. Right here. See right
Yeah, and
under
I do
here?
right here too.
Right
What
here.
I actually do is, palpate or feel the face, the pressure points in the face. And wherever they say they feel tenderness, that's where I actually put the needles.
Okay.
And they get up from there, and they're amazed because most of the time it lasts.
Yeah, and it's amazing, y'all. The body's incredible. It is incredible. Doc, give your information out so if they want to get some acupuncture, they can come to see you. Give your number out
I'm
for
about to
everybody.
bring my mother.
Okay. All right. Number is 267-240-5109. And again, I moved, so I'm at 345 East Mount Airy Avenue. I'm part of the Greenhouse Wellness Center. And the days I'm there are actually Friday and Saturday.
Okay. And what times are you there Friday and Saturday?
All day.
Okay. So that's 345 East Mount Airy?
Yes.
Okay.
Zip code 19119.
I think it's
19131.
I'm not sure.
No, 31 is Winfield.
Oh, no, that's Winfield.
It's 50.
Is it 50?
Back to the minute.
Is it 50?
It might be
sound like it's 50.
Yeah, I think it's 50. 19150. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Doc. Appreciate you.
Well, Eloise,
All right.
I'm waiting for you to make your house call down here to me.
Yeah.
I would love to come to Florida.
Yeah, I'll put you up.
Hey, Doc, we have a question from Facebook. Rhonda Cook wants to know, what are the good uses of chromium? Do you recommend using it?
Chromium? Yeah, chromium is excellent for the pancreas. Yep.
Okay.
Pancreas. Pancreas is, and that's for balancing sugar issues. You remember there's when concentration, too much concentration is in the body, the pancreas can, well, all the organs can't deal with concentration, but the pancreas specifically can't make three vital nutrients. That's magnesium, chromium, and vanadium. Those are the three. So what happens is the chromium plays an incredible part for helping this thing called the Isles of Langerhans to continuously break down and filter so that they can create the insulin, which is the turning key, which opens up the cells, allows the glucose to get in. So chromium is definitely good. I always say though, here's my thing, my spin. Why get it independently chromium where they separate, isolate, and divide it? Why don't you go back to the plant? Make sure you get the plant that it comes from. So those would be things like the what? You remember the ones we use? Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. One that has all three, including chromium, would be what? Gymnema. Remember Gymnema? Got it?
Alfalfa.
Genostema.
Okay.
Genostema. Also, Bonaba. And there's a lot of them. Soursop is good. Bitter melon. Bilberry. Or any of the blueberry family. Or the huckleberry. All those are good. Got it? So all of those are high in chromium. Also, now that it's working on the pancreas, it also is working on your eyesight. So if it actually helps with those that have issues with cataracts, glaucoma, contrast, issues with focus, things with the eyes. So it can help with that also. All right?
Dr. Paul, before we go on any further, some of you may have the latest update of Zoom where your private messages are in a separate.
Yes, I was going to mention that.
I'm answering your questions and you keep asking the same questions. It's because you have to look at the top of the chat box and you may see my initials. And I'm answering your questions there. So look there for your answers.
Oh, yeah. That's Linda. It's funny you say that because I'm looking at the updates here. It looks different.
Andrea, I think her name is Andrea.
Okay.
Andrea Swift. She keeps asking about the dentist, and I've answered her twice. So look to see if you have that new version where the answer will be in a separate chat box at the top of the box.
Okay, yeah, I actually thought I broke mine, Prophet. So I said, "Oops, did I break it?" Because I couldn't get to them.
Yeah, and also, Prophet, is for those that are listening by telephone or maybe don't have access to the chat. Can you give out the biological dentist information?
Give me 1 second. It's at 8:19. Well, that's when she asked the first question. So give me a second to get there.
Because I think you did put it in earlier.
I did. I put it into her personally, and then I put it in the chat box.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. All right.
Hey, Bill. Excuse me.
Sure.
Was Carol G finished with her questions?
Carol, did you finish your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
All righty.
Vala wanted to know, can you be attracted by bugs because of your blood type?
What was that?
Vala said, "Can you be attracted? Can you be attracted?
It's
by bugs?
It's mostly because of what you're eating. It's mostly the sugar. That's what it is. You remember I gave out the whole
You're just
thing?
too sweet, Vala. That's all.
You're too sweet. Yes, that is correct. Because we've actually know that they're attracted by the odor, the smell. That's why it tears up the children. If the children are eating a lot of sugary foods, they'll tear them up. They'll all on the legs. They smell that sugar, so it's attracting. So remember, we gave out the list of all the things for. I did a show last couple of weeks ago about all of the things for bugs and pestilence. Need that, go back to the family tree. Big B, I think we were on. That's on. Matter of fact, if everyone's looking, can everybody see what's going on? Can y'all see my screen? Let me open up.
We can't see the screen right now.
All right, let me open up my screen. I got a couple of things I want to share with the family. So, if you are, and let me see here. If you're on Facebook, all the shows that we do, they're online.
They're online.
They're online. Yeah. And one of the places that Big B puts a lot of the things on is definitely on Dr. Paul's Holistic Health Network. Okay, that's where we are. You're going to see all of those, and actually, we're streaming live on there right now. Big B, I didn't even realize that you put it up there already.
Of course,
but, of course.
What do you think? Who you think I'm is?
Boy, I tell you, between you and Prophetess, boy, y'all quick on the trigger, boy. All right, so here I want to show you, family, where we are on here. So I want you to also subscribe. If you have not already subscribed, go back to to the list, and you can see all of the programs. That's Dr. Paul's Holistic Health Network. Can you see it? Everybody see it? Okay.
Yep.
All right, so and just make sure you subscribe or send an invitation, and then I will come in and make sure bring you on in. And this is where all the announcements are made. So make sure you share this, and I would say share this with your family because on here you can see all of the different shows. Here's the rebroadcast of the shows. And also, we post on here everything that's going on. Shout out to Jaron. That's the documentary there.
Yep.
That's us on the Green Hour. And all of and my show, which is on Saturday morning, the Holistic Show. Everyone is on here from the past 5-6 years.
5-6 years, yes.
And we talk about everything. So that means if you go here, let me show you a little trick here. If you go here. Well, let me go down. Let me find one. Here it is, right here. If you just go right to, usually it's mine. See right here where it'll be the show. Welcome to the Dr. Paul Holistic Health Show. If you click right there, boom, it gives you the whole outline of everything we talked about on that show. Got there? So it'll give a breakdown. So this is when we did. Remember, I did the show on poison ivy, poison oak, and sumac. Yep. So that's a good one. So you'll find the ones on the. Anything that's going on with, the bugs, because I did one on the bugs, and then everybody else brings something. So Dr. Louise, she puts something on there, Essence of Acupuncture. She puts an article on there, and I invite you to put something on there. If you find something that you find out while you're browsing or you're out on the internet, post it on here. This is the network that we talk. So I go on and I answer questions sometimes. Some people, there's a chat box on here also. So if you want to ask questions, we can go in and ask. And this is sort of like our own little space where we can talk about what we talk about, even when we're not meeting on the family tree. How about that?
There you go. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now the other place, the other space that I would recommend would be YouTube. Okay, YouTube. Now, we'd love for everybody, if you go to YouTube, just punch in Dr. Paul Holistic Health, click that, and right here, boom. Here are all the shows. There's Dr. Clarinda. Yep. See, we got all the shows on here, and pretty much we're up to like 260 something shows, back shows where we talk about a little bit of everything, y'all. So you can see how we were having fun on this. But here's what I would love for everybody to do. Hit that button that says subscribe.
Subscribe. There you go.
Please subscribe. Yes, a lot of people doing a lot of looking, but nobody's subscribing. See, that's what keeps the algorithm moving, and that now makes it more, it puts it in the point where other people can see it also. Because once the algorithm, the participation with the algorithm makes it and actually push it along, so it opens it up so more people can actually see it. So keep that in mind. All right. That's all I wanted to do. Go make sure you subscribe. All right. Subscribe to
subscribe. All right.
All right. Well, let's see.
Now, we got Calvin up here, Dr. P. Calvin, you there? I know you got to been waiting for a long time. We appreciate you, man.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Bill,
Calvin.
Dr. Bill, how y'all doing?
What's up, Calvin? What's going on, buddy?
Good. I went to see Dr. Lenny yesterday, because I had issue going on with
Okay.
vertigo, and had like three misalignments. And Dr. Lenny does very good work, So
Yeah.
kudos to Dr. Lenny.
Yeah. Shout out Dr. Lenny. Yep.
He had mentioned something about something called a dizzy pack, like something having to do with crystals, and you can buy it. And I was wondering if you kind of like elaborate on it.
Yeah, the vertigo.
Well, that's for Dr. Lenny. You said he said it, right?
Yeah, but he said that you were talking about it a couple of weeks ago on your show.
About what now?
Dizzy pack for people, some kind of dizzy pack for people who had vertigo. And it kind of helps you with something with crystals, and and it kind of helps.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Epley maneuver. The Epley maneuver. Yeah, you're talking about the Epley maneuver. You're talking about the crystals in the ear. That's what you're talking about. Right. So we did a whole show on that Epley maneuver. That's where the crystals that balance your motor skills and basically the equilibrium of the brain. It just lets your body know that my head is over to the left, my head's to the right, my head's looking up, my head's looking down. Sometimes there's displacement of the crystals in that canal of the ear, and you have to reset them. So it's called Epley maneuver. If you go to YouTube and you go in there, you can actually get that done. Or maybe if you're back at the chiropractor, Dr. Lenny can help you with that. Okay.
You gotta spell that word, man. You gotta spell that.
Right. So, right. So it's EP. P is in Paul. LEY.
Mhm.
Maneuver. MANEUVER. Epley maneuver. Sometimes they'll use it. Huh?
This is on YouTube.
Yeah, that's all you got to do is punch in the video, and it is very simple process. I mean, you really can do it yourself.
Okay.
I explored this avenue when I was coming back from Hawaii, and I was getting the serious vertigo. I didn't know what was going on. It was definitely, I was having travel because it was such, it was like 20 something. It was like 18-hour plane flight. It was just a lot of issues. But Epley, look that up. Epley maneuver. Okay.
Okay. Also, does the brother still have the stones? Who's in Ross Ben? Do he still have the stones?
Yeah, Ross Ben's doing good. Yep. So Ross, I haven't talked to Ross in a while, but I've given his number out several times. But if you need it, I can give it to you. Or Prophetess, I don't know if you got it for him over there.
I don't have his number.
Okay, so here's Ross Ben, and Ross deals with he's a specialist in gems and stones, crystals, things like that. He has a book called Rocks of Ages, which is his deep dive on understanding about crystals and the energy and power of the crystals and the ancient history of crystals and those things. Because crystals are basically plant life.
On Zoom.
It's the form is crystallized plant life. That's basically what it is. Okay.
What's the name of the book? I'm sorry. What's the name of the book?
Rocks of Ages. Rocks of Ages. Rocks of Ages. So, great book. It will give you a sort of mastery, I guess, a 101 on learning about the rocks and the different types of stones and all the different things that are, in their categories in which they are and what they were used for through the Bible and all through history and texts and religion and everything. So it's a great book. His number is 267 353 2002. Yep. Tell him I sent you, okay?
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right. Now, I have something before you go there.
Yep.
I want to talk a little bit because we're time running down a little bit. I want to talk about, I was telling you all about how, we are the recreators. Got that? From the Father, we are the recreator. We're doing as the Father, right? We're recreating. Remember I said either say it slow, or sometimes you say it fast. Recreation. Recreation. That sounds like fun. How about that? So that means that when we start talking about some of the ancient African holistic health science produced, it was actually dealing with the healing instruments. But did you know that some of the actual things that we used, it was all based on, we never did anything unless it gave God the glory. How about that? They would say, well, why are you doing it? If you ain't giving God the glory, then why are you doing it? That was the concept of our tribes, our people, our cultures. And you can look at this in any culture. It's always finding a way that we can give thanks to God for life itself. So there's ways that they were using to develop your spiritual energy and property use and how you actually, balance your energy in your bodies. You call those chakras, just like we do the sound, and how we did the sound with everybody, hearing the tones, do, 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 all the way through them. And you remember when they said, spare the rod, spoil the child, right?
Yep.
What does that mean to y'all? What does that mean? Spare the rod.
If you don't discipline them,
if you spare it,
you'll be sorry.
You'll be sorry.
You're gonna be sorry.
They will kick your humps.
Would there be
that's backside beating?
No.
So would it be safe to say that mean tear that butt up, right?
Yeah.
No.
But here, let me back up. Let me back up. It actually didn't mean that. That's not what it meant. No. To spare the rod, to spoil the child, which means divining rod. That's what it meant. Meaning that you would take that ankh, which actually represent male and female principle, you would lay the child or the person or whoever on the table, and you would roll it up their body, and it would put their chakras back into alignment and open them back up. Dr. Eloise, you know what I'm talking about.
All right.
So with this, that means that you remember when they told you to go out there and get a switch?
Hey, I know. I got a lot of them in town.
I got your attention now. See, baby, I got everybody's attention now because everybody remember. Go get me a switch, and it better not be a small one, right?
A long one.
Well, why was it called the switch? Why was it called the switch? Because I got to switch up the negative thinking or the position that you're going in that direction. I got to switch you up. And that's the whole concept of switching back to a positive environment. Whereas you're going in a negative, we got to switch you back. So I got to change your thinking. Go out there and get me a switch.
So we can recreate.
I'm going to switch you up.
That's some hell of a obedience when you got to go get your own switch.
That's right.
How Ryan is it? I was saying 1,000 times a month.
Because apparently you were going down the dark side, right?
Yes, I was. Hallelujah. Help me out.
So I'm coming around. Come on, stay with me. Hang with me. All right. So now that you understand that we, and even in ancient times, we're dealing with the energy, the flow of energy, through the body, through the chakras, had everything to do it. So a lot of the ways we had instruments that used like the ankh. And you know what it sounded like, by the way? You ever heard like the country music when going? That was it. That's what it sounds like. That's what a real ankh sounds like when you actually boom and you go up and down the body. Now, there's games that we used to play to actually they weren't games, but they were turned into games, but they originally were they were actually divining methods for healing. Wow. How about that? Did you know that chess was actually one and checkers were actually one? Wow. Yep. They're exacted from the African divination of healing devices called draughts. That's what they were called. Now, these devices look exactly like chess, except they were on a playing board with about 27 squares. They lay them out 3 rows of squares and about 9 columns. Each column had 9 squares representing 9 energy forces or 9 chakras. Got it? So each individual respective, those 9 columns represent everything that's going on in you. So they call the pieces, so the pieces as you moved them on a terracotta bowl, cloth bag, mixed and shaked them. All of those things came from learning how to balance you out. Did you know that also bowling was one? Y'all know, anybody been bowling? We got any bowlers in here?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got some bowlers. I know we got some bowlers. But did you know that bowling is an African healing and diagnostics instrument for healing? Wow. Wow.
Did not know that.
Stuff, man.
Did not know
So
that.
that means that when you actually think about it now, when you're setting up the pins, what kind of shape are they in?
Triangle.
They're in a triangle. Oh, it looks like a pyramid, don't it?
Yes, it does.
Woo! It's actually a way of divining the egg. So they would take a egg or some ball type egg shape, and they would use ways of polarizing it, and then they would tell the person to roll it down this corridor, and it would strike the pins, and then after the pins would lay down, they could tell based on your energy that you're pushing through whether you're sick or if you're well. How about that? This is some deep stuff, man. This is our history. This is some deep stuff. So yes, bowling is a part of that. Did you know that the sliding board is also one? The sliding board. How many? Because all this stuff y'all remind me. I know y'all getting flashbacks of y'all on the playground right now. Right? He said, "Why was I always feeling so good when I went to the playground? Because these are the places that were actually healing centers for our bodies." Wow. So the sliding board is actually an African, what they call negative gravity ionic device. The instrument usually had an electromagnetic charge board, and 12 to 24 magnet charged the steps. So when you went up the back of the steps, each one had a different charge. Male, female, male, female, male, female. Got it? Getting your chakras in alignment. And then after that, the steps were used to recharge the positive chakra, while the board, when you used, stimulated your pineal gland. So when you slid down there, it sort of cleared out your chakras right there. By the time you hit the bottom, you was good to go.
Wow.
Man,
Ain't this amazing? This is some deep stuff. This is ancient.
I can definitely see that.
Hey, Dr. Paul?
Yes.
Did they have at Smith Playground, didn't they have a big giant sliding board?
Yeah, that's right. The big sliding board,
Yeah,
right.
Big Johnny slide.
Right. So,
Yeah.
right. So I got two more. The swing. Y'all remember the swing?
Yes.
Everybody loves the swing.
Love
Everybody loves the swing. Did you know that's another African healing instrument? Yeah. So the horizontal bars would support the swing. You got the left side, the right side, right? Suspended. And to the vertical support, which is the 3 posts, right? Now, which they arranged it in a pyramid. Now, when you go to a playground, each pole is going to be looking like a pyramid.
Yes, that's so
You
very
probably
true.
never even thought about this before, right? It's all hitting you now. Well, each post of the horizontal bar would be charged with magnets. One would be magnetized as male principle, and the other one would be female principles. And then when they would take you, and the sick person would get in the seat, and they would swing them through the polarity of both the positive and the negative, and the electromagnetic force of the field called alpha gamma rays, and they call it pyramidal energy fields. It would polarize the energies in your body and clean your pineal gland.
Have mercy.
Ain't that something? Boy,
I'm glad I gave him class tonight, man.
I got one more. I got one more before y'all can head out to the
I'm
the
going right to the playground right
You
now.
ready to go right now? The last one is the seesaw. Now, is it interesting that the ones that I just mentioned is sort of like a standard wherever you go to playgrounds? You're going to see one of each one of these, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the seesaw is also an African electromagnetic adjustable alignment board, and it was used in ancient healing devices also. It ranged from a circular sphere according to the organ being treated. So basically, the alpha rays, they call it the alpha rays energy angular, where the board was placed in the pyramid pivot, and with crystals or metals on each side to counterbalance. So when the person was sick, they would actually be out of balance.
Have mercy.
How about that?
Have
So
mercy.
they would adjust the crystals and the things on the other side till your electromagnetic field balanced out, and then you would come back to ease.
Have mercy.
And that's where the internal organs were creating like a vibrational. It was a vibrational tool or electromagnetic force field for the board and your pyramid form and the crystals. All of these things had ways of doing what? What's the main thing you got from all of these specific things? They are all balancers of all your chakras. They're all about balance. Isn't that awesome, y'all? Now, you ready to go? You ready to go? You ready to go? You ready to go?
Balance.
Yes. You ready to go to the playground tomorrow, ain't you?
But does that also clear up some of the things about how the world came into being? It came through us, y'all.
Yeah. So
Can I go there?
Yeah, a lot of balance. So thinking about these things, we look at the games that we play.
Yes.
All of them have something about balance. Think about it. Tennis, right? Going back and forth, right? You're talking about things like running. You run one way, one leg is moving out forward and in motion, the other one's at rest, male, female. All of them have something to do with male-female principle. So understand that we were the inventors of all of this stuff.
That's exactly right.
Ancient history goes back to saying that there was a reason for why you did all of these things. So next time you go to the playground, you might want to have a good time. All right. All right.
Dr. Paul?
Yes.
Dr. Paul. Also, what about swimming? Because I know when I used to go swimming, when I get in the pool, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Swimming will allow you to use muscles that you normally would never use.
Yeah, would never use.
You would never use those muscles. You have the ability to use that. So swimming is excellent. Only issue with swimming, of course, is chlorines and things like that. You got to be careful with, but make sure you wash down before you leave. All right. All right, Big D,
we got two people, man. Okay. Haraya and then Deke, and that's it. But we're at 9:10. Haraya, are you there?
Yes, I'm
here. But you got to read what I wrote. Read what I wrote. I forgot to tell
Viola,
you
the one, about playgrounds?
But not the playgrounds. I was born with extra fingers. My oldest daughter was born with extra fingers.
Yes.
Her daughter was born with extra fingers. And my great-grandson has 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes.
Interesting.
Biblically written.
Hey, guess what? Viola, we got that in my family too, child.
Well, we came from the same lineage in Goth. That's where the giants were, and that's where the man was born.
Yeah, wow. Going deep, Viola. You going deep. You going deep.
Oh, boy. All right.
Okay, that's a whole nother class right there. I would love to get into that class. Okay, thank you.
All right.
We'll hold on to next week.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right, Raya.
Peace and blessings on family. Dr. Paul, I have a friend that is in a nursing home, and they're losing their sight. Well, they lost their sight and had some surgery. They have a little slight where they can see light and dark and blurs. But anyway, I got the doctor Christopher's eye bright herbal eye. I thought I was getting a liquid concoction, but when it came, it was these tablets. And I know I can't promise anybody anything or anything like that, but I was going to give these to my friend, and I just wanted to to ask first, what is the effect of the tablet in contrast to the liquid going into the eye?
It should be. It should be. I mean, liquid is always going to be better, but it depends. Make sure that it's in capsules, right? You have
Right.
capsules with the
Yes.
powders inside. Yeah, you should
Right.
be. You should be fine with either one. It should be.
Okay.
Yep. But
The other thing I wanted to ask you is that the ingredients in this formula is the bayberry root bark, eyebright herb, wild-crafted golden seal root, red raspberry leaf, and cayenne pepper.
mm-hmm.
After
Mm-hmm.
cayenne pepper, it says 40 MHU. I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
HUs, it's talking about the HUs, the heat units.
Heat units, right?
Yeah, that's the heat units. That's the heat units. How much does it say? 40 HUs?
Yes.
Okay, that's the heat units of cayenne pepper. That's that's the standard model for the standard. There's different heat ratios for cayenne, and they can go up to 120. So that's 40 is not bad. Mm-hmm.
So anytime I tell a person about an herb, that is in the that's not in the non-traditional medicine field, I also tell them to look it up to see the correlation with that whatever medication they're taking,
yeah,
and how it will affect them. So I just wanted to ask you, just off the top of your head, those things that I listed, that's in this ingredient. Is there any one of them in particular? I'm going to look. I'm going to ask them. What are you taking? And I'm going to look it up myself. But is there anything that stands out in there that I might have to be cautious about?
Not at all.
Knowing that he's probably on medication.
Not at all. Not at all. So all that, remember, this is all food. You just mentioned all food. So it's not going to be a problem. Just remember, when you're having any eye issues, you got to reset the body. You got to give it what it needs. My concern was is it he? You said a he?
Yes.
Is it he?
Yes.
My concern is what he is eating. Got it? That's what my concern. See, the delivery system of the food choice is what's giving everybody the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. We're in food deserts, y'all. You're doing all this good stuff, but then next thing you know, you eat something or you get something, you got to have that little snack or something, and it's going to right back to zero.
Amen.
So, and that's why I really emphasize, if you're trying to get the eyes right, if you're trying to get your liver right, the kidneys right, focus on that water. I really would look at that as the first primary thing to do, is to get your water right. Get your water. If you can because some people can't get water in every day. That's okay. But if you can make a commitment to yourself to do your water half your body weight in ounces at least 2 times a week, you're going to see a major change with your whole health across the board. So that's the things that would. But that formula is excellent. I wouldn't do anything. There's nothing that you would need to be worried about with that. That's all food.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was getting ready to go back into another surgery, and I was like, just try this for a moment. Not making any promises, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, in fact, this is my ex, so it really hits home. My children's father,
Mm-hmm.
it really hits home that he has to deal with losing his sight and getting ready to have another surgery. But I'm glad to hear that. So we're going to give this a try and see where it goes.
Make sure his water's on point, number one. And also get him a green drink. Of course, you know about the green drink. You do the green drink. Green drink with that, along with that water and plenty of rest. Okay? Those are the things that help to regenerate the system. Okay?
Yeah, I might be putting a curse on myself. He get to see and see I'm an old woman now.
We'll pray on you, Harai.
not the young girl married years ago.
Oh boy!
Oh my goodness!
All right,
that's right.
Derek's up there in the corner, Dr. Yes, he's got one
Brother
of these in his hand. I'll see you
Brother
later.
Derek, Brother Derek, he's back. He's back. He got it. He got it. He got it. He got it. All right, Derek. All right, fill us in, Derek. How's your experience been since you had it?
Actually, it's actually been pretty good. My fruits and vegetables been pretty good. The only thing I'm running into is hey, Sorry, it's my son here.
What's up? What's up, buddy? What's your
Look,
son's name? What's his name?
Major.
Major.
Hey, Major.
What's up,
buddy?
Major?
How are you, Major?
All right.
Yeah, but what I'm running into is like it doesn't have all the fruits and vegetables that we have in America. Of course, it's Chinese made. So I don't know how you do it, but I asked ChatGPT what is kind of like the substitute we could use on the device. So if we have like bok choy or kale or spinach, I made a chart that tells us what you use on the device if you have a specific fruit and vegetable. So I'm just gonna if it's okay, I'll upload it up to
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Now here's the rule of thumb. Whenever you don't see a specific one on there, I thought bok choy was on there. You didn't see bok choy on yours?
Bok choy is on there, yeah.
Yeah, bok choy is on there. So, but if there's one that's not on there and you want to test it, and it's got to be fruits, vegetables, it can be fish and also meat. If you don't see that specific thing on there, you go to the next primary. The next primary that would be closest to it. Got it? So, for example, if it was like beans or something like that, like lima beans or something, right? Like you would go to the fava family. You got it? See what I'm saying? So it would be the next primary to wherever the actual fruit or vegetable would come from. That's the best way of doing it. So like the carrots, that's the purple carrot, right? Or you would just do it, but definitely load up what you have. I'd be very interested in seeing it.
Okay. So like
say I have the same one he has, and so it doesn't have oranges on there, so it just says citrus. So that's how you do it. But like when I've been scanning, all my watermelons the nitrates have been very high. That's been very disappointing. I mean, I'm getting mad because I can't eat the watermelon.
I know, ain't that something, Katrina? And I know you've been like saying, you know what, and I hear y'all. Because some of y'all been real candid with me. Y'all say, look, I ain't buying this thing, Doc, and then I'm bringing it home.
Yeah, I'm about to say
I gotta throw it away. So I've been testing it. Yep. Remember, it's sitting on the ground.
Yes.
So anything that's on the ground is going to be absorbing that nitrate, and that's where I was saying the extra saturation of these chemicals is killing the soil, y'all. It's killing the soil. It also is pulling that phosphorus out of there. So that phosphorus has a big problem with now being in the plants. So the plants don't have the yield to help us with the bone density and to keep the levels of vitamin D and calcium in check. So a lot of these issues with people having knee problems, not being able to stay alkaline, has a lot to do that. But Katrina, where were you shopping when you were finding these?
I shop at Whole Foods, and they were organic ones, and they were seeded.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this?
Oh,
do y'all hear this?
I didn't want to. Somebody said something about watermelon last week, and I said I don't even want to tell them. But like using the watermelons, you're gonna have to be real careful.
Because just be very careful.
And now, Katrina, do me a favor. Next time you do that, take that to the produce manager and tell them, because they need to know that stuff. They need to know that, hey, this thing is loaded with nitrates, and it turned red, right? There was 9,999.
That's 330. I think was my highest. It should be 60. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Disappointed.
Yep. So that means something. What about the melons? Did you try melons also?
I didn't try melons. Pineapples have been really good.
My pineapples have been good also. My papaya has been good.
Yes, papaya has been good.
Yep. The only ones that you got to watch out for are the ones in the ground. So watch out for the radish. The radish tends to be high. Sometimes you'll get the celery also, but just, do the best you can. Keep up on that. That device is awesome.
Use it.
I know.
It's so bad.
Yeah. All right, Derek. Derek, did you get the last question, Derek? Was that your last question? Thank you, Katrina. We appreciate you. Appreciate you.
I already uploaded it, so check it out and tell me what you think.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Dr. Paul, one last question before we balance. It just says, quick question says, my 21-year-old daughter has a pubic cyst. The doctor wants to remove it next week. They say she also may have PCOS. Any advice on what to do or not to do?
Yeah, how old is she?
21.
21. Yeah. So that would be a detox. We do a detox. Anything when you have PCOS, stuff like that, we try to get it's a hormonal imbalance that we doing. So what we do is take them through a cleanse. That's a liver, pancreas, kidneys, all those things. We do a good cleanse. There's specific herbs, especially around 21, 22 for women. And we do have a gynecologist on the line here. We do have Dr. Clarinda here. So you may want to check with her also. But definitely we do balances with not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul. Things like black cohosh. Black cohosh. Okay, another one would be angelica root or don quay. Got it? These are traditionally used that were used for women's hormonal imbalances. Another one would be milk thistle, holy thistle, blessed thistle. See how these names all kind of correlate with the name itself. They have a story and lore of their own. So that means a lot. So I would say definitely stay in that red raspberry. Okay. Burdock root. So that would be in that line. Now I would say to be sure, come on in and get an assessment. We look at the food choices. You definitely got to stay off the dairy. Watch the things that we talk about. I was talking to someone this week that, and I'm going to have to make a list of this, but I'm going to tell you, there's certain things that I see with women hormonal imbalances and lymphatic backup. It's these few things. Write this down, y'all. Now, hopefully I can remember this now. Okay. First of all, these are the top 10 toxic foods. Got it? But it's a combination of things that I'm seeing that's causing the problem. First one is shrimp. Got it? Shrimp, crabs, lobsters, scallops, cheese or dairy. Got it? Beef, pork, any of the meats, the heavy meats. Wine, specifically white wine. Got it? Fermentation, fermented foods. Fermentation. And the last one would be, of course, the salt. The refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. So those are the kind of things that I see on a regular basis. And that's usually when some combination is blocking up the lymphatic system and it throws off the imbalance. A lot of women have a lot of imbalances issues there. The endocrine disruptions happen in there. That's what I'm saying. So keep that in mind, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, boss. That's it, man. We
All
are
right.
after that. What
Thank
you doing,
you.
buddy?
All right, Big B.
I'm sorry. One question, real quick. I
Yes.
think I might have answered, but just to be certain, someone is asking that question right before Bill just asked about trimmers.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Right.
What causes them, and how do you stop them?
Well, they need to be assessed first because trimmers can come from autonomic disruptions. That's, of course, the autonomic system. That's the myelin sheath. That can be issues there because contaminant. High levels of sugar in the diet because that's going to start to pull from that system. But anything damaging the myelin sheath is what you want to look at. So that means root canals, mercury, statins, root canals, all the aluminum, all of those different things that can be causing a problem there. And also, it gets deep. So we want to check that first.
I believe this person did call you last week.
Okay.
I don't believe they've gotten an answer back.
Okay, here's what I always tell people. If you've called in, usually check your voice messages because I got 2 assistants and they are on it. They usually call you right back.
Yep.
But most people
call me right back.
Yep, most people don't check their answering scene, and
or their
mailbox is full, or when they see the number, because we have a 1-877 number. So when they see the 877, they say, "Them bill collectors." I ain't answering that phone.
Well, Dr. Paul, that was my question, and I didn't call. I text you. Monday.
Yeah, but definitely that's Ivy. Make sure you schedule with Ivy, okay? Because make sure you do that. So Cecilia, you can just call Ivy anytime you need, okay? All right?
Okay.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All
All right,
right.
boss.
Let's see. Big
Let's
B,
see. Yeah,
tell them
man.
how they can be a part of it because they're going to go to YouTube and subscribe.
Hey, that's just what I'm
Right?
getting ready to go. Subscribe. What I say?
Subscribe.
Send your friends, send your enemies, send your enemies,
That sound
everybody.
like Gomer Pyle. You remember Gomer Pyle?
Yeah, subscribe.
Surprise.
Oh boy!
We
As
showing
always,
our
man.
age over here, man. We showing our age.
Hey, all what it all, Dr. P. Hey, look, I can't say that because I'll be old enough to be your daddy, so don't start.
Yeah, I know. I ain't saying that. You done forgot more than I know. Yeah.
Hey,
All right, Big B. So tell them how they can participate with the family tree and also get all the information and tonight's transcript. Give them all that information, buddy. All right.
As always, Dr. P, make sure you get a copy of tonight's check, guys. You can do what? You got to send me an email. Send that email to meccavideo@gmail.com. Again, meccavideo@gmail.com. And of course, to support the family tree, you want to do what? Use my Cash App. That's $BILMORGAN. $BILMORGAN. And if you use Zelle to your bank, that ID number is meccavideo@comcast.net. Again, meccavideo@comcast.net. Of course, we've got a P.O. box right here in Mullica Hill. That's Bill Morgan, P.O. Box 191, Mullica Hill, New Jersey, 08062. Again, P.O. Box 191, Mullica Hill, New Jersey, 08062. Guess what? Bring your friends, bring your enemies, bring your friends. What? Head to the family tree, yo. So we
all right, Big
every
B.
week. Right there.
Hey,
yes, sir, buddy.
Hey, Big B, you know what? There was back in the day, and my son is, we have some interesting conversations. And, back in the day, I used to do all the music and stuff, right? And with the music, I used to do it a long time ago. Hey, Queen, make sure you go on mute, Queen. Make sure you're on mute. Okay, I got you. And a long time ago, I wrote this song a long time ago called Family Tree. Believe it or not, I did this a long time ago because I said, I would love to do something like that. And then this artist, a good buddy of mine, he had an artist. Her name was Rachel Scarborough, and she did a song, and it was called Family Tree. And of course, my son Yaron said, "Now, Dad, why are you not playing this on the Family Tree?"
Yeah, that would help us.
So I'm going to play this. I want to play this. This is actually called Family Tree. And it's by Rachel Scarborough. And, a good friend of mine, he lives in Florida now. We wrote this like over 20 something years ago. See how God manifests things, man? Ain't this amazing? And I pulled it out the other day. I said, let me just play this for the family. So as we're leading up.
Wait a minute. What was your DJ name back in the day?
DJ.
What were you, Jocko? Or what?
No, I wasn't a DJ. I was a record producer. I was a producer.
Yeah.
I was a music producer.
May I say a word?
I was signed to Columbia Records when I was about 20 years old. About 20 years old. Yeah, I was on Columbia Records, so we did music production down at Studio 4 and things like that. So with that, I was always doing stuff. So we did stuff on Billboard. We did stuff all over the place, but this is where God brought me in this direction. So I'm just happy to be here. So here I'm going to play this.
Queen wants to say one thing, Dr. P.
Hey, Queen.
I want to say thank God for all of you that spoke tonight and gave your spirit of what you're feeling.
Yes.
And I said the fact that you went to Family Tree all those years ago, God had a plan.
Amen.
And I thank God that you followed through.
Yes,
we sometimes get off of what God intends us to do. But if we keeping back to him, he'll bring you to where you're supposed to be. God bless all of you. Keep it going. And that little bit about Africa and my playing grounds and I used to do those the thing you
Yes.
I am beside myself tonight again.
Yes. Thank you, Queen. Drop your mic on that. Let's give Queen a hand, y'all. Let's give Queen a hand. All right, I'm gonna play this one. This is called Family Tree. This is called Family Tree. Can you hear that?
Yes, sir, buddy.
Dr. Payne, our family.
Oh man, that's a nice thing to exercise by and to go out there. See, now you can do a tapping, Dr. Pete.
All right, come on, we can tap it while y'all listen. Come on. Let's give a shout out to Prophetess over there. Thank you, Prophetess.
Always, your buddy. Yeah, Prophetess.
And of course, with them, Big B, Bill 1L Morgan.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, here we go.
Dr. Paul, I'm gonna be calling you.
All right, we'll do, Keith.
Okay.
Come on. Come on down. Come on. Tap. Right, Marcy? I see you, Marcy.
That's right.
Right there.
All right, we got a strong hook in here. Come on. All right, here we go. Come on. Family tree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Come on, put your hands together like this.
Hey,
put it over here.
I can't hear you.
Turn them in.
When you start that.
Push.
Yeah, buddy.
Push. Good.
Yes, sir.
All right, to your left. Yeah. To your right. All right, come on back. To the front. Put your hands straight up. Breathe and come on down. All right. The sound of the song says, shake your family tree and you'll see there's someone like you.
Yeah.
There's someone like me. Shake your family tree and you'll find that you are some souls that you left behind. Got it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, you gotta make sure you send that to me, buddy.
Someone like you. All right, come on, clap it up. Clap. All right, we're gonna get an energy bath right here. Come on, bring it on down. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, going on down. Clap. All right, one more time. Ooh, that top one. Y'all feel that energy? Y'all feel that energy? Feels good. Take that energy. Bless yourself. God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. And remember, if you're breathing, you got a shot. Shake your family tree and you'll see there's someone like you, someone like me. Hey. Shake your family tree and you'll find that you're there for souls that you left behind. Someone like you. Someone like you, Big B. Someone like you. Someone like you, Marcy. Somebody like you, Stephanie. Somebody like you, Queen. Somebody like you, Mariah. How about you, Joyce? Hey, Joan.
Joyce Brown. Joan.
Like you. Someone like you. Someone like you. Someone like you.
Diane.
Like me, someone like me,
Queen,
someone like me. All right.
Glory,
someone like you, someone like me. Break your family tree and you find that there are some souls that you left behind.
And Robin,
family tree, and you'll see. All right, y'all.
Rosetta.
We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, buddy.
And we'll see you on the weekend.
See what we got, Dr. B.
Where we gonna be, Big B? Where we gonna be?
900 AM, 96.1 FM, Black Dog Media, WD Radio.
All right.
Yeah, buddy.
10,
Everybody.
9, 8, 7,
You got it.
6,
Down.
5,
Yep.
4, 3,
Oh, yeah. Down.
2,
Yep.
and 1. God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. And we'll see you. Thanks for tuning in
To the family tree.
Family tree and your peace.
Tonight.
Someone like you. There's someone like me. Stick your family tree and you'll find the Sarah soul that you left behind. Love y'all. Take care.
All right, buddy.